Good afternoon. It's Monday, 2nd March 2026. INEC's continuous voters registration is on. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this hour, River State tasks residents to use cancer center. INEC promises improved 2027 elections but warns no 100% perfection. Political scientist asks Governor Fubara's allies to remain supportive. ADC denies endorsing former Rivers Governor Amechi as its presidential candidate. And Arsenal beat Chelsea again to go 5 points clear in Premier League. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now let's start the news this afternoon talking elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it is working to deliver Nigeria's most credible election yet in 2027. However, INEC insists it cannot guarantee 100% perfection. INEC Chairman Joash Amorito gave the assurance at a citizens' town hall on the 2026 Electoral Act in Abuja, saying the Commission is addressing logistics and result management to strengthen transparency. He also announced plans to conduct a mock presidential election to test seamless transmission of results across state lines ahead of the general polls. Amorito insists that the glitch that affected result transmission in 2023 has been eliminated and will not recur. INEC has already scheduled the presidential and National Assembly elections for January 16, 2027, and the governorship and the state assembly polls for February 6, 2027. Well, similarly, the executive director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo, has faulted the provision in the Electoral Act 2026 that allows manual transmission of results where electronic transmission fails due to network issues. Speaking at the same Citizens Town Hall, Itodo says the clause undermines transparency and weakens the objective of electronic transmission. He's calling on lawmakers to reopen the amendment process and delete the proviso. The amended law was signed by President Bola Tinubu on February 18 after months of debate ahead of the 2027 general elections. Well, back here in River State, a political scientist, Dr. Obi Nawadim, has advised supporters of River State, Governor Similai Fubara not to be discouraged by the latest peace agreement with the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The lecturer in the Department of Political Science at the University of Port Harcourt was reacting to the outcome of the Rivers APC delegate election, which has produced allies of the FCT minister as delegates for the party's forthcoming national convention. Dr. Wadim says the governor is only returning to the structure that brought him to power.
Their leader, who incidentally is the governor. Before now, the governor did not have a political structure. There was a structure that brought him into politics as the governor of the state. Where he sits, he sees farther than them. So he is on the driving seat. So they should be able to follow their leader. I don't see any reason why they should be angry with their political leader. In the game, provided there is a win-win situation, the governor is on the saddle and he sees and knows what is at play.
Also, Dr. Wadim says Governor Fubara will still emerge as the APC's flag bearer in the 2027 governorship election.
For the governor to have reconciled seemingly with his political family, I think that should be able to carry him along in the scheme of things. Except otherwise, because politics is a game of intrigues and all that. So those who emerge as delegates in the forthcoming national convention of the party, are also members of the same political family with his structure. He has come back to the political structure or the political family which brought him into power.
Still on politics, a leadership expert, Professor George Ahonaya, is calling for the abolition of the political party system in Nigeria. Professor Ahonaya, in an interview with correspondent Kachinwosu, argues that party politics is endangering the country's democracy. Let's hear from the Chief Executive of the Institute for Research, Leadership and Capacity Development in Port Harcourt.
I came out with the findings that political party system in Nigeria has done more harm than good in the system. It is responsible for the emergence of wrong leaders or candidates into the system. It has introduced money politics. Three, it has also given room for the exclusion of the true owners, being the people. And finally, the political party system has allowed much political manipulation.
Well, he is advocating for a directocracy system that allows citizens to make direct decisions through referendums.
I came out with the findings that political party system in for directocracy, or what is popularly known as a referendum, which I consider to be a lesser evil than political, system, because it ensures the emergency of true leaders who are willing and ready to serve the people, selflessly, who are directly involved in the selection process.
And now elsewhere, the leadership of the African Democratic Congress in the South has dismissed reports that it endorsed former River State Governor Chibuike Amechi as its presidential candidate. In separate statement, National Deputy Publicity Secretary of the ADC Jackie Wyas and Professor Pat Otomi have denied the purported endorsement. In the meantime, the Senate says it will complete the amendment of the 1999 Constitution to allow the creation of state police before the end of 2026. The Senate spokesperson Yemi Adramodu says the upper chamber will resume work on the constitutional review once plenary reconvenes next week. He says lawmakers are ready to fast-track the amendment to accommodate state police. Well, the Turaki-led People's Democratic Party says it is commencing its digital membership registration across the country from today. In a statement by the National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememobong, the party says the exercise will last for 3 weeks and is aimed at compiling a digital membership register in compliance with the Electoral Act 2026. Talking health now. The River State Ministry of Health wants residents to take advantage of the Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Center to screen for cancer and other cardiovascular diseases for early detection and treatment. The Permanent Secretary, River State Ministry of Health, Justina Jumbo, has made this known at a cancer awareness campaign and road walk in Port Harcourt over the weekend. Now she says early detection is key, adding that the center, the Cancer and Cardiovascular Center in Umuhuta, is open and fully functional.
It's a deadly disease, and the state government have thought it wise to establish this center. Before, we used to travel to other states for diagnosis and for treatment, but now we have the center here. So we want to sensitize and create the awareness. It's not only cancer, this center is also for cardiovascular issues.
On the spot, Director of Medical Services at the Ministry, Vincent Ifechukwu, says the center is now set to screen and treat all types of cancer.
It's a deadly disease.
Of gathering here is not just to take a walk, but also to tell the whole world that this center has been opened to render services to every person that is suffering from any type of cancer within the state, outside the state, and anywhere around the world.
Well, also the CEO of the Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Center, Tony Rame, says the ongoing free screening is to serve the community and help to fight the menace. He adds that beyond screening, the facility offers advanced oncology surgery, cardiovascular and cardiothoracic surgery, kidney transplant, and nephrology services. Away from that, the Chancellor of the International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights, Dr. Jackson Omenazo, says Rivers people must remain vigilant ahead of the handover by retired permanent secretaries in the state civil service. Dr. Omenazo is reacting to a directive by Governor Siminalayi Fubara asking retired permanent secretaries to prepare their handover notes. He says the directive shows the governor's familiarity with public service operations.
Its intervention suggests an awareness of administrative risks associated with incomplete transaction, particularly in environments where documentation gaps can obscure accountability. For the Rivers State people, I will say that vigilance remains essential. Transparency in public office is not optional. It is a backbone of good governance. Where standard procedures requires executive emphasis, it becomes necessary for citizens to pay closer attention, not out of suspicion alone, but out of a civic duty to safeguard institutional integrity.
Also, he wants the permanent secretaries that failure to properly hand over government properties and documents may attract disciplinary or legal action.
It is a core accountability mechanism within this public service. Civil service regulations clearly requires that outgoing senior officials formally hand over official documents and sensitive files, government properties and assets under their custody, ongoing project reports and financial records, policy briefs and pending administrative matters. Failure to properly hand over government properties or official documents before leaving office constitutes misconduct and may attract disciplinary or even legal consequences under public service regulations.
Still to come, Nigeria's government tasks Nigerians in the Middle East to take precautions as tensions rises in Middle East. Details after this break. You're welcome back. Now, Eche and Obiakpo local government areas will carry out a boundary demarcation exercise on Wednesday to resolve the land dispute between Chokocho and Iguruta communities. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Eche Council Chairman, Dagogo Isaac, says the exercise is in collaboration with the Office of the Surveyor General of Rivers State and will begin at 10 a.m. All affected communities and families of the disputed areas are expected to be present to ensure fairness and bring lasting peace to the two communities. Well, residents of Omasopo Farm Road in Ime Town, Ibodo, are expressing relief after the long-neglected road was graded. They say the road links Rumunduru, Eneka, and neighboring communities in Obiakpo to Eche. Community leaders thanked the Eche Council Chairman, Chima Boniface Njoko, saying the grading will ease transportation and boost economic activities.
We have not expected such from any angle, but God have brought the chairman of Eche local government, who is Honorable Chima Njoko Boniface. He's a Tokandu chairman. On behalf of the Omasu community, we appreciate him for giving us this opportunity to have a good road on Omasu Farm Road. Our farm road, it can drive freely by closing your eye.
And for the past 3 years now, we have been suffering from this road. It was not passable. But to God be the glory that we have a good chairman whose name is Boniface Njoku, who has had the cry of the common man. Then with his help now, we're able to achieve this. I think I pray that God will continue to bless him and elongate his tenure. Even if he's coming for second tenure, we will all support him in mass.
Well, still staying in Eche, the leadership of Afara community in Eche has faulted claims that it vandalized a newly installed transformer and armored cables. The spokesperson of Afara Council of Chiefs, Donny Muzi, says the community is committed to protecting public assets.
Afra community expresses deep concern over the press interview granted by the chairman of Eche local government area, wherein he accused Afra community of vandalizing the transformer and electric cable. Our community has shown strong commitment at securing public assets, which led to the arrest and prosecution of one suspect that vandalized the old transformer and electric cable.
Afara CDC chairman, Promise Chinaka Onowa, maintains that the transformer and wires are intact and has urged the council chairman to retrieve dismantled items from the contractor.
The newly installed transformer and cables are intact, and we advise the Eche local government chairman to demand and retrieve the electrical cables and other materials dismantled from the damaged posts along Afra Egui Road from the former contractor and not Afra community.
Well, away from that, the federal government has advised Nigerians living in the Middle East, especially in Iran and neighboring Gulf nations, to take extra security precautions amid rising military tensions. In a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the government says it is closely monitoring developments involving military operations reportedly carried out by Israel. urging Nigerians in affected areas to avoid sensitive locations, limit non-essential movement, and steer clear of public gatherings. Now we go straight to business. The Host Communities Development Board of Trustees is calling on Niger Delta State Government to remit a percentage of the 13% derivation fund into the HCDT to boost development in oil-producing communities. National President of Host Communities of Nigeria Producing Oil and Gas, His Highness Dr. Benjamin Tamarenebi, made the call at a town hall engagement in Port Harcourt. He says the 3% PIA fund is already promoting development, but add that the 13% derivation fund has been politicized.
Trustees that are here, please, if you are doing a budgeting, consider the outcome that is fighting. The fight is continuing. So if you don't support those who are leading you, how did they go out? They move on and something good has come, and they did remember them. But at this forum, there's nothing we can do because you are following the law as been prescribed. So you to know your way and know you are trust members, interface with them, interface with your traditional rulers, so that it will be harmonized and be taken care of.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
Now, Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon have exchanged fresh strikes as the Iran conflict continues to widen across the region. Lebanon's health ministry says Israeli attacks on Beirut and parts of southern Lebanon have killed at least 31 people and injured 149, while an Iranian missile strike reportedly killed 9 people in the Israeli city of Beit Shemesh. Explosions are also reported in Bahrain and Dubai amid what appear to be further Iranian strikes. Meanwhile, several U.S. fighter planes crash in Kuwait with crews unharmed, and a British RAF base in Cyprus is targeted by a suspected drone strike, prompting families to move off the base. Also in sports, Arsenal produced a dogged performance to beat London rivals Chelsea 2-1 at the Emirates, a game dominated by corners. The Gunners scored all 3 goals from corners, with William Saliba, Piero Ekampie, and Urian Timber scoring all goals.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Well, on the news this afternoon, you heard the Rivers State asking you, the residents of the state, to use Cancer Center. We also told you that INEC has promised improved 2027 elections, but warned that there will not be 100% perfection. And we reported that a political scientist has asked Governor Fubara's allies to remain supportive. And we informed you that the ADC has denied endorsing former Rivers Governor Amici as its presidential candidate. The news was edited by Ufoma Ebwamano. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.